Okay, so this is a response to the video that I posted this link into, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm hoarse. I'm just getting over a cold. I just have some points I'd like to address that were featured in this video. First, I'd like to say that I align with this YouTuber on a lot of different stuff. I am a fairly liberal-leaning guy, a strong proponent of good, healthy relationships and doing what you need to make sure that they're safe and healthy. And on a personal note, I had a family member who separated contact from me when I brought up things that happened in my childhood. And we remained severed in contact for several years thereafter. So I do personally understand the complexity of what can happen when you set boundaries. I vary from the YouTuber with several obvious things. Number one, I'm a Gen X male. I have a wife but no children, and I'm a family nurse practitioner, so I'm a family medical provider. I'm going to have just different point of view from the YouTuber who is a mother, for one thing, and a younger woman. Further, I from the specific clips that I see of these parents on these videos, I can definitely say that I probably wouldn't align with them on many things. Parent-child relationships, political leanings, all that sort of stuff. Probably not people I could identify with very closely, as far as I can see. And additionally, I really hope that the separation that the daughter enacted has gone far to give them more of a sense of autonomy, and maybe as a way to come to terms with how they felt about their childhood and that possible power dynamics and self-respect issues that come from relationships that aren't going the way we hope they are. However, pardon, I will kind of be referencing some notes as I go through this video. Well, this YouTuber who did post includes a lot of really important stuff in there, including the normalization of the emotions and the difficulty of the situations in which people have to experience when they create separation and healthy boundaries from folks with whom they have less than ideal relationships. I feel that some of this is muddied by the attack on the mom in question. I want to start by really emphasizing that there's a lot of things that we don't know about this situation and about this woman. First, we don't know the parts of the relationship and her person that she is unable to articulate, whether by just not having the words for it or not having the insight to really identify that they're there. Number two, there are maybe quite a few things that have changed about this woman since her child separated from her. Now, I couldn't imagine that would be anything but one of the most traumatic experiences of her life, triggering emotions that she didn't understand, self-evaluation that she never knew she had to take, and she may be in the worst mental health of her life, presenting a very different person from the person she was before this. Excuse me. The last thing that we do not know is anything about this woman or their relationship that wasn't directly on the video that we've watched. She might not have a daughter. She could be put up to this for something. It could be a fantasy project. She could be mentally ill to the degree where she is hallucinating. Who knows? We can't say anything except that there is a video of this woman saying these things. And we really need to be careful about folks when we're observing just social media videos. That brings me into to fault. I don't like the concept of fault. It's good in law. It's bad in life. People are messy, emotional, reactionary monkeys with whom if A, then B, logical, syllogistic viewpoint does really poorly in describing the picture as a whole. There's a lot of gray area in every part of human emotional and relationship life. That lack of fault is extremely important, and it's important for the person who is trying to separate themselves. A family member who does not want somebody to separate will oftentimes key into fault as part of maybe their own reasoning in which they think that the separation shouldn't happen, but also as a form of emotional manipulation, gaslighting, etc., to prevent that from happening. If we take away fault from both parties of the relationship, then this person doesn't have to be categorically correct to be able to just protect themselves with appropriate boundaries in a relationship. They don't have to prove anything. All they have to do is need to do this for their own well-being. Now, I'm not saying that there is no such thing as cause and effect, and no such thing as responsibility. There very much is. But the concept of cause and effect and responsibility in a relationship is twofold, complex. It's a network of things that will never riddle out. And it's definitely not something that I could say as an outsider that I could determine after watching a couple of YouTube videos. Last point is parading out one mom is not an example of the situation that people will experience as an overall look at the issue of making good boundary choices in relationships. She is not an example of all parent-child relationships which result or should possibly result in people severing ties. It doesn't have to be somebody who is like overly involved and domineering in a relationship. It could be parents who are disinterested, or it could be parents who are very supporting, very loving, and try to create good boundaries and all that sort of stuff, but they have a specific thing, whether it's a behavior or drug use or a certain opinion that makes the relationship on the viewpoint of the son or daughter to be toxic and inhospitable. Last, it could be for no reason. A parent could be like objectively perfect and the kid just hates them. They should feel free to separate from those parents without feeling like they are incorrect. So I think what would be better is for a video to come from the point of view of a daughter or son who may need to sever ties with a parent. Giving examples of situations in which this may or may not be a good idea, although, that's a very broad topic. Some opportunities to normalize the emotions that people may very well experience in that situation. Providing some anonymous examples of things of responses from parents, which could be like lashing out or bargaining or um, assigning fault, trying to demonstrate that the daughter or son is beholden to the parent, or other forms of emotional manipulation. I think though a video with those foci would be exactly what somebody who is trying to decide what their rights are to create distance would need. So, message to the YouTuber directly. There's some really good stuff here, and I love the normalization of creating healthy boundaries, and I like that there are people out here in YouTube who are there to support people who are going through tough times like this. However, I would say that the good parts of this video are overshadowed by your attack on this mom. It does not focus on any. It doesn't much focus on constructive criticisms outside of her lack of acceptance, but it does include an inference of the total complex relationship life within this situation with very little evidence. It includes insults to varying degrees, from ad hominem attacks to snarky comments and some backhanded compliments and things that are not really part of the narrative argument of trying to detoxify a relationship. And then attacks on political opinions, where yes, certainly the political opinions may be a factor in why the daughter has separated from them. We don't know that. That could just be something that she's bringing up now. The thing that's most important is this relationship. And so when we circle around to all these different things that we're attacking mom for, it sounds more like it's presenting a situation which maybe you just don't like her, which ends up sinking all of the other good points you're trying to make. So without those things, this is a very helpful video. With these things, at best, these elements muddy the productive elements to make this video unhelpful. At worst, this is a potentially damaging attack on someone you don't know for something you don't completely understand. So I definitely still want to put out there a thanks from everybody that, there's people out there really trying to support people who are in a tough situation. I encourage you to keep going and make more videos on this subject. But I do recommend caution in inferring situations that are complex that we can't understand. So thank you very much for your time.